bit on Aaron Anderson.
Yeah, I think today he felt really good. We're going to be very careful with him. This is the results of, he was great this summer in his training, never missed a day. Probably a little bit of too much work in that sense, where he had some inflammation in the knee. We took an MRI, a bone scan, everything looks really good. Now it's about just getting him back moving. So he'll do some agility and some movement tomorrow with the hope that Wednesday we've got him back out on the field.
Coach over here to your right. Through 4 years, there's been a lot of intensity in practice, but I think up front it's been a lot more different, a lot more competitive in some situations. Have you felt like early, even being a weekend, that there's been a lot of intensity between the offense and defensive lines?
Yeah, I think intensity is, first of all, a mindset, and having the right guys that bring that intensity certainly helps. Then how do you create that, right? I think through recruiting, you create that intensity as well, and competition. So if you add all of those things together, look at the offensive line. You've got 5 guys competing for spots. So there is that piece where it brings out an intensity. I think you're looking at guys that are physically and mentally developed through the program that bring that every single day, that mindset. And I say this on both sides of the ball. So when you're stirring it, right, you're stirring the drink and you put all the ingredients in there, sometimes you really got to work hard at getting that intensity, and sometimes you just add water. This group is much more about just adding water. They have those traits, and they have that situation where there's so much competition. We haven't had that competition, quite frankly. They're the starter. It's hard to bring that intensity every day. So I would add those factors into why what you're seeing is actual and true.
Coach, to your left, can you talk about just the addition of Alex Atkins and what sort of contribution has he had and added to the run game?
Well, Alex is a veteran coach, and anytime that you can add somebody that has had the kind of career that he's had and influencing in particular as a coordinator and as a run game coordinator, you're adding another piece to a championship program. And so that experience, that success, that confidence, that ability to really focus on a run game, just makes us a better football team.
Coach over here. Brian, 6 INTs for the whole team last year. You brought in a lot of portal guys. If you could talk about Mansour Delane, Jakeem Jackson, Halsey, and Tamarcus Cooley, and what they bring and how you guys are stressing with Blake, more takeaways, more turnovers.
Yeah, I think part of it, again, is, going back to the intensity piece. When you create competition, guys are going to do exactly what you ask them to do. They're going to trust the teaching. If they don't, they won't play. And there's no better motivator than playing time. And so I would add Ashton Stamps, PJ to that mix. Pickens. I mean, there's a lot of players out there. Deshaun Spears, Javian Toviano, and you just mentioned 5 or 6 yourself. When you have that many players, you can show them, this is what I need from you. This is what we expect in terms of how you play the ball in the air, how you don't give up free access throws. And that competition draws out the best in the entire unit.
Yeah, Coach, to your left, or I guess you're right. Harold.
I wouldn't know either.
My left. Harold was really flying around the ball today. He looks like he's getting more and more comfortable by the practice. Can you just talk about what you've seen from him and his new role on this team and what he's looked like?
Yeah, I think it's a familiar role for him. One that now he has a complete knowledge of the linebacker position. He's not just a guy out there running around making plays. He's so much more intentional. He knows the game. He knows the nuances of it. The pick that he got in 7-on-7, he baited Nussmeier into it. Just those little things, right, are experiential kind of plays that he's making. But no, I think physically he's been great. Taking care of himself, recovery day, he's a beast. He just knows that, as I said, this is his year. And all of those things have allowed him to be really, really focused and not distracted by anything.
Hey, Coach. Number 88, Bernard Gooden, seems like he's really flashing and doing a lot out there. What have you seen out of him so far?
He's really flashed. He's doing a lot of good things. He brings a high motor, right? He's a guy that brings energy to the group, intensity to the group. I bring up that word again that was mentioned. So I think that's bringing up everybody in terms of the competition level. His abilities fit the defensive structure that Blake likes to run. We're aggressive, move in the front, and he just has a great sense in terms of getting off blocks. And sometimes that's a hard trait to teach. You just can or you can't, and he's very difficult to block.
Yeah, Brian, has Aaron Burrell improved enough to maybe be a long-distance field goal specialist for, and a pooch punter, because he hits the ball a mile high from 30 yards?
Yeah, we like his progress, certainly. We were very intentional in the offseason. Jack Marucci did a great job with our kickers. He worked specifically with them, with TrackMan, and increasing their leg speed. Aaron's consistently been in the low 70s, which is elite NFL speed. He's just got to throw strikes. He can kick it from whatever distance you throw it out there, but he's got to put it through the uprights. And that's what he's working on, his accuracy, which is about consistency in his steps and all the things that go to just hitting it down the middle every time. On the other hand, Damian Ramos has increased from 67 miles an hour to 71. That is a huge increase. And again, I give Jack and his sports performance staff an incredible kudos for the work that they've done with him to stretch him out, if you will, right? To get into the high 50s and that range that not only may we need, but the NFL is going to need it. Because we know about his demeanor in the moment. The big moments, he's never backed down. He's been excellent in the big moments. So we feel like we're really blessed with both those guys.
Brian, right here. Last week we talked about the continuity with your coaching staff, and you said that Blake and Joe don't have anything to prove. What kind of growth have you seen in those two over the last year, I guess, whether it be anecdotal or just comfort level in their positions?
Well, I think from a staff standpoint, more than anything else, is understanding the expectations of, the way we want to teach our players and how we coach them on a day-to-day basis. We want to be positive and demanding at the same time. I think they feel really comfortable from that perspective. So my first prerequisite is, what are the relationships that you've built with the team and the individuals on your unit? And I think both of them feel so much more comfortable going to year two that know the guys and know their strengths and weaknesses. And then, as what I said earlier, is that I think that they're at that point now where they've gone through a season, they know what the SEC looks like, they know what to expect each and every week. And that knowledge, as we've kind of, looked at Garrett Nussmeier in the same way, right? Garrett comes back for a second year. That experience is going to be awesome for him, and it'll be for those guys.
Hey, Coach. Jason Sharon from Gridiron Football. Just want to ask you about Juwan Johnson, just his versatility and seeing him at quarterback, running back, receiver, and obviously he was a deep B last year. So just talk about how he's adjusted to those new roles and what you want to see from him moving forward.
Well, he's given everything we've asked him, probably more. He's a special kid. He'll do anything. We got him working at quarterback right now, wide receiver, running back. I think when it comes to making a decision on Juwan, it's, how far do we go this year with him? Because we didn't redshirt him last year. And I want to make sure that his time is valuable and impactful. So whatever happens with Juwan, he's going to play 4 games. The question is whether he plays 5. And that will be dictated as he performs and as the offense kind of works around him. But we love him and what he's doing for our program.
Hey, Coach. Trey Green, I noticed the other day, Coach is working with the fundamentals of blocking with him. How's that part of his game coming along?
Well, here's the first thing that I can say. You can't be an inline blocker at that position unless you're willing. And I've had a lot of really good inline blockers that weren't willing. Inline tight ends that weren't willing. He wants to get in there and mix it up. So this is really about taking a guy that's 6'7", that's long levered, and getting him in leveraged positions. You might say, well, he's in great leverage. Well, the game is played from low to high. And so we've got to get him in great leverage positions, and that's really most of it, is not playing too high. And that's not an easy feat at his position in terms of his size.
Hey, Brian, seems like y'all have had a few different left guards over the past couple of days. Mabenga, Chester, I think Coneckles got in there at one point. Where's that competition right now?
Yeah, there's 4 guys, Wilson. So, Paul, DJ, Colin Eccles, and who am I missing? Thompson. Yeah, Thompson. So those 4 guys, 1A, 1B right now. They're just rolling in and out as we've kind of established Braylon Moore as the center. And so those 4 guys are working, and DJ would be our number 2 center. So it's a 4-man rotation right now with those guys.
Not to double coach, but when are you going into full pads? How many scrimmages are you going to have and in fall camp? And that balance of hitting with full contact and not beating up your team, is that getting better or is it tougher with all the depth now?
No, I think it'll be fine. We tackle tomorrow. So our 6th practice, they allow you to tackle by NCAA rules. Then you have to be a percentage of all your practices have to meet a criteria. So our Saturdays will be pretty much, our night Saturdays will be pretty much scrimmages. So you can count on those days for the most part as scrimmages. Again, tomorrow, and then we go on Wednesday, which will be, a 2-hour practice. It'll be the first time we get 2 hours of exposure. And, that will be much more situational work. So tomorrow, big day for them. Wednesday, a lot of situational work. Thursday, they have a recovery day. And then we go Friday leading into a scrimmage on Saturday. That's kind of the week right now.
Hey, Coach, back to your left here. Going back to Mansour Delane, what kind of sticks out about his skill set? And it kind of seems like just in camp so far, he's got the ability to read the quarterback really well. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I think experience. Look at all the players that are playing out there. Ashton Stamps has similar experience. Mansour's had more years starting, more games under his belt, and certainly possesses the intellect and intuition to make those plays when they're in front of them. So again, let's go back to where we started with the transfer portal. We wanted guys that had played a lot of football and had experience and have had great success. And so it's not surprising that he's displaying that on the practice field.
I don't think we've talked a lot about your running back room. How is Caden health-wise? How does he look? And what are you seeing from the rest of the guys back there?
Yeah, well, I'm really pleased with Caden and Caleb. Caleb's had a great camp. And, he's 230-plus pounds. He's physical. He's smart. It's just about getting into, game situations where he makes good cuts and good decisions. Caden's healthy. I think the 2 young players, Lindsey and Barry, are going to contribute this year as well. We talked about Juwan as well, so we think we've got great depth at the position. Good? All right, thank you. You guys can come whenever you want. Just anecdotally, we moved 30,000 pounds of food yesterday at the food bank, and that is generally a week's worth of work. And all you had to do is tell our guys that if they were done, they could go. So it's easily motivating 18 to 21-year-olds. It's not too hard. So 30,000, just in case anybody was asking.